Coming to you from Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge in Ingalls, Indiana, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. It's Final Third Friday.
All right, well, welcome back to Final Third Friday. I'm Rob.
And I'm Isaiah.
And today we're going to be pairing our new barrel pick and the Rocky. This is a Rocky 60 in the Toro size.
Yeah, and this, I looked it up last night. It's Mexican San Andreas over Nicaraguan binder and filler.
Yep, which, you know, you can look it up by looking inside the box because it says it right there, too.
Does it really?
It does.
Wow, I had to look it up last night. But our Peachtree is a straight bourbon whiskey at cask strength from Peachtree in Colorado. It is coming in to you at 122.4 proof. Rumor has it, it's delicious. And by rumor, I mean, after the couple glasses I had last night, it just reminded me of how good it was, but
yeah,
how much better it is at this proof point.
Yeah, and, you know, cool story on this, and we may have already talked about this, and I know a lot of you have heard this, but when we first did or I guess it was just me that did the tasting when we first tried it, because Steve Strabbing, cheers, might as well start drinking quick. He is the Indiana small batch rep. He brought in 6 different barrels to try.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with this one, and it was at 117 proof when we tried it. And then magically it came in at 122.4, so we were happy, and it actually increased the complexity.
I'm not
going
to drink it yet until I get a cold draw on the cigar.
That's a good idea.
This cigar, I had it for the first time last night. It is, it's a little bit more delicate than I would have thought out of it, honestly.
Yeah, especially on the first, that first third. Second third, I think picks up a little bit, and then the final third continues to pick up. So,
look at you with your Colibri straight cutter.
Colibri straight cut. Yeah, always available here.
I did the V on it.
Nice. I was going to, but I thought I'd use that one. And I'm also using today the really nice Quasar tabletop lighter.
Yeah. So on the cold draw of this cigar, it reminds me of like chocolate graham crackers almost.
Oh yeah, very, very strong cocoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I think you hit it. You nailed it.
Yeah. Nailed it. All right.
Yeah, all the cocoa.
Yeah. Let's get into the light.
Yep.
This cigar does have a lot of those cocoa chocolatey notes in it.
Yeah.
At some points in the smoke, last night when I had it, it almost reminded me of like instant coffee, because those flavors, to me, run really close together.
Yeah.
It's just the instant coffee is a little bit more on the bitter side. But wonderful construction.
Yeah, this one has a pretty crisp box press, which is nice. I don't mind a box press. I like them quite a bit, actually.
No, when you get some poorly done box presses, they end up being having a lot of burn issues. But this burns true and straight the whole time.
Burn issues, or they're a little too snug because they packed them like they do a round cigar, and then they box them and it gets so tight you can't smoke them. This one, when you pick it up, it feels like it could be tight because it's got a pretty crisp edge. It's pretty dense,
but it smokes well.
Yeah, so they're doing a good job rolling this cigar.
Yeah, it's got a great tolerance on it for me. Like, it's not wide open like I feel Padron does.
Yeah,
which
I like. Personally,
I can enjoy that, but it always ends up in issues for me. Like, I'll end up over smoking it. If I'm thinking about it, that's a wonderful draw. But this is like standard across the board, just solid draw.
Yeah, and this one actually, initial retrohale is very, very black pepper.
Yeah,
but it's funny because it doesn't sting real bad. It's just black pepper flavor, and then as it sits on the palate for a while, it starts stinging just a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
But it takes a while to build up to that. It's not that retro bomb right away.
Yeah,
so
and it has a lot of the cocoa on the palate.
it does. It really does.
It's like Nutella toast.
Whiskey.
Yeah. The nose on this whiskey right now is very fruity to me.
Yeah. Well, and initially, we had said this had a really strong kind of a pear nose on it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like it, with it being a little bit more strength to it now, I think it's somewhere between a pear and a peach, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is anything. It definitely has the pear sweetness, but more of the deeper peach kind of note to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, wow.
Woo! First drink of the day, man. It's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'll make your throat feel nice.
Well, I took a gulp. I didn't take a sip.
Oh, yeah. Goodness.
That hit me.
That'll get you. It's like a fruit turnover of some sort.
Yeah. It's almost like a strawberry Pop-Tart.
I can see that.
A little bit, just because it's got that strawberry kind of note. And it's like not a super sweet strawberry. I keep saying it leans towards, like, the seeds on the strawberry on the outer edge. It's like it's almost like getting that. It's a little bit bitter, but it's still strawberry note.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I can see that. I can totally see that. Yeah, that's great. It's great. Wow.
And with a cigar, I feel like it just pulls out more of the cocoa. I'm getting just a lot of cocoa.
Yeah.
Not much more right now. Mainly just cocoa, which is not a bad thing at all.
No, it's not.
So what's new today, man?
Not a whole lot. Been a kind of an odd week, but we're chilling, man.
Uh-oh.
What you got?
I don't know. I don't think that thing's tightened down very well.
Oh.
Better tighten down before it falls over.
Yeah, Rob's tightening down his podcast microphone stand.
There we go.
Now you can move it.
Now I can move
Man,
it.
they're so professional.
It
Just
is
perfectly
professional.
set up by the time we come
Exactly.
in. Yesterday here, which would have been Friday the 10th, was an odd day.
It was.
I think it was because that IU game was starting so late that we just kind of fizzled off towards the end of the evening.
we were pretty steady most of the day, and then Isaiah shows up, and everyone's like, nope, not going in there today. What?
It is how it felt.
It did feel that way, but no, it's more, I think you're exactly right. Everyone realizes we close at 9, and they left, even though we still stayed open to watch the game.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, like, I don't know if you've looked at them recently, Rob, our stats, like from
On what?
Podbean,
I haven't.
anything like that. So I think we're on our 18th or 19th podcast episode being released, and that's just audio. Let me pull this up really quick. We're close to 1,000 all-time downloads.
Already? Wow, that's kind of quick.
Yeah. So
Well, thanks, guys.
yeah, seriously, thank you guys.
That's awesome.
I mean, in the last 7 days, there's been 150.
Okay,
So
that's cool.
Yeah. No,
That's
that's
cool.
absolutely fantastic.
Well, good.
And normally our Friday episodes perform best the Monday afterwards. So it's like people are going to them for their commute. And
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
That's honestly what a hour and a half podcast is meant for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Because a lot of people around here are driving a half hour to 45 minutes to work. You listen to the first half on your way in, the second half on the way back home, and
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I'm astonished by that. Thank you guys. It's actually amazing.
Yeah, and honestly, we may not have continued doing this unless people started watching it. We were doing it for other reasons at first.
Yeah.
And it's like now it seems like we're engaging a lot of you, and you're coming in here and talking about it and enjoying the pairings, which is the whole point of this.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. We're looking forward to, because early on, the main focus was just the pairing, and then we were just BSing.
Yeah.
We're looking to bring some more content out and talk more about the cigar industry, the bourbon industry. all that, and talk to some different people. Like, for example, one thing we're going to start selling here immediately are these. It's going to be hard to hold this up to you.
It is.
But it's the Claro humidors. So it's really awesome humidor.
They got a tray in the bottom for all the accessories, and they sell some proprietary accessories that fit.
They're actually really nice.
Yeah, this 2-finger cigar case that it holds in there, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it's.
But this,
Yeah, so see, it's a really nice Italian leather case.
yeah,
It's just really nice. It's very well made. If I can get my fingers turned the right direction here. Oh, I think I dropped something behind there. Card went in there. But it's just a really nice case. It holds humidity well. Probably the best held humidity for a glass top I've ever seen.
yeah, and it looks really, really nice. It doesn't
does.
look like your grandfather's humidor.
No, and you saw that thing. This thing is huge. It's well constructed. Retail price on this is $229.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen ones that are not this big go for $500-600. This thing is solid.
it's serious.
And we're actually going to be getting the Case Elegance travel humidors, which those are made from really high end. I think it's Italian leather as well, and then lined with, I don't know. It's amazing. They're $100. I think it's an 8 cigar humidor or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be really nice. We'll have those in here too. Those guys are really just down the road from us here. So now that we finally got that contact made, I think we're going to be able to keep these things in stock pretty well. But right now we have the larger one like this one, and then a smaller version of it. Both of them are here on display. So if you wanted to come check them out, I'm going to be ordering a bunch of them this week, and we'll have them out here. So we should have stock maybe by the time this actually gets aired. We're close to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. So these are made by Case Elegance and Claro, and Claro sells a humidor solution with them.
Yeah.
So it's like an alternative to Boveda.
Yeah.
And basically you're filling a tray that's full of like gel absorbing beads.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it works really well. Our friend Eric Jansen, shout out to him.
Cheers.
He's got one, and it's been great for him.
Yeah, he actually won this exact same green one at our Aladino event last year. And he took it home. He put it through the ringer. We told him, be brutally honest with us.
Yeah.
I don't want to buy something that when you get it home, it actually doesn't work. He took it home, followed the instructions to a T, and it holds perfect humidity now.
And this is a guy who was using Tupper doors.
Yeah.
Which to some of you guys might
It's
sound
super
like
easy.
a bad thing, but you cannot do a Tupper door wrong. Like, it's just, if you throw a Boveda in there and you throw your cigars in there, it's going to hold humidity.
Yeah.
So for a wooden humidor coming from a Tupper door for him that performed as well as it did, absolutely fantastic.
I agree. The one thing that they have on their two juices they use for their humidification solutions, they have a winter solution and a summer solution. The nice thing about that is, especially in Indiana, you get a wide stretch of humidity levels from winter being super dry, summer being more humid.
Yeah.
This winter juice that they use is actually going to increase the humidity to keep that humidity proper. And from what I've seen, it works great. So,
Yeah.
again, we won't belabor it, but these are in stock. Come check them out. We will have, and even if we don't have them in stock, I can get them within a few days at the most.
Yeah.
But we'll have these in here. They make them in black as well as the green. The black, because it's another process that I think it adds another $20 or $25 or something like that. But this green looks absolutely amazing. So I think you're gonna like it the way it is.
It does.
So cool.
Yeah. I'm really excited to finally have some humidors in here. Rob and I, historically speaking, are not crazy big proponents of the winadors, the ones with the fans on the back of them that cool.
I mean, I've got one. I use it. You've got one. You use it. They're just work.
Oh,
And honestly, though, I've left mine. I haven't touched it for over a year now since we've opened.
yeah.
It's perfect. It's like 67%.
But it's unplugged right now, isn't it?
No, it's on. I've got it
okay.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leaving it alone, I think, has helped that one. But it's like, 67 degrees, 66 to 67 humidity.
Yeah.
It's been that way all winter long.
Mine is unplugged right now, and that's the way I've found that it keeps humidity the best.
Well, in the room that mine's in, it gets chilly.
Okay.
So I turned it on to keep the heater on, and that has helped maintain the humidity too. So,
totally.
Which I just have those big Bovida boxes in there, and they're working fine.
Yeah, and that's what I run in mine as well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited to finally have some humidors in here. Keep you guys and have a product we can recommend.
That was the big thing. I could have had a bunch of wooden humidors in here from a couple of our suppliers that you would have bought and you would have used and you would have been pissed because they didn't work well, or you would have taken them home and it'd been like everyone's first little wooden box humidor. You used it for a few months and then you just stop using it and it sits on a shelf.
Yeah,
these are going to be ones that I believe in, that I would have at home. I'll probably will buy one and take it home at some point. But it's just this is one I can highly recommend to anybody. So,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna get one for myself once we get our stock in.
Yep.
I'd like to get out of my Tupper door.
Yeah, now, this is supposed to be, I believe, an 80 to 100 count humidor. Depending on the size cigars you have, you're probably gonna be able to go up or down on that pretty easily. But
which my typical move is in any humidor, just pull out all the shelves and stack boxes, play Tetris. You'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Oh,
party foul.
What are you doing?
Party foul.
Rob just dropped a cigar on his phone, on the table. He's
On
making
my
an
lap.
absolute mess.
God, rookie move.
Rookie move, Rob.
One of these days, I'm gonna learn how to smoke cigars.
One of these days.
All right.
I need to teach you.
Maybe. So we were also talking about a recent move in the cigar industry, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for him. I know a lot of people think it's kind of a weird move, but
so Alec Bradley Distributors is the company's actually called.
Yeah,
so.
Ruben's the owner.
Yeah. Got bought out by Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So Scandinavian is a general cigar company, and they're the same people that bought out like Matt Booth from Room 101. Well, they bought the Room 101 tobacco lines.
Yeah.
And also kind of bought Matt because he's creative director over CI now.
Yeah, they hired him.
Cigars International is their company as well. But I was talking to some people last night, and we talked about that, and they were like, "Oh, there's a couple of Alec Bradley cigars that I really like. I should buy them up before the change takes effect in their product."
I mean, honestly, everything Alec Bradley did was other people's factories and farms.
Yeah.
So I don't think anything is going to change. They're going to still be able to buy tobacco and have them rolled in these factories. So I don't see there being a change.
Yeah.
There could be. I mean, I'm obviously Scandinavian being kind of the parent company of General, now owning Alec Bradley and all these other brands. They probably could go to any factory and farm and say, "Hey, can you roll these cigars for me?" And people are going to go, "Yes, sir, may I have another?"
Yeah.
They're going to do it because they are big dogs. So I don't see the quality changing. In all honesty, Alec Bradley cigars, to me, most of them were a little too mild for my taste.
Yeah.
You get into like the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper was a little bit more full-bodied. I enjoyed that. Never really was much of a fan of the black markets, even though they were a little darker. I don't know if it's just because they're a little earthier or what.
Well, and you liked the Alec and Bradley stuff, didn't you?
I'm
the
trying
special
to think
releases?
Maybe. They're just some of their darker stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a good point too. Is there's Alec Bradley cigars. There's also Alec and Bradley cigars. They were both under the same name. The difference was, when Ruben's boys, which the boys' names are Alec and Bradley, he named his company Alec Bradley. Well, then the boys came in when they got of age and actually developed the line Alec and Bradley.
Yeah.
Both lines sold.
Yep.
So these are both now sold, and they sold for
72
72.4 or 72.5 million, I think it was.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, "Oh, that wasn't a really big number for a brand." I'm like, that's a huge freaking number when you're talking about these guys don't have a factory or a farm. This is literally their line of cigars, and their reputation. That's it. And I'm like, then you got guys like Rocky or Perdomo or any of these brands out there. They're like, I'm thinking in their minds, they're probably thinking, well, shit, what are we worth now? Because, their number may have been a whole lot lower before that sale, and all of a sudden now people are going to be looking at their brand saying, we are definitely worth more than we thought.
Yeah.
Which is exciting for this industry.
And I think there's always, when a brand like that gets bought out, I know it happened when Room 101 got bought by Scandinavian.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, he's just a sellout. Like, all this stuff. And to some extent, I'm like, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from. On the other hand, when you have somebody like Scandinavian, in the whiskey world, that would be a company like Brown-Forman or
Campari.
Sazerac or Campari Group.
Yep.
When they want you're going to be had.
Yeah. And my thought on that, too, is
Like,
if you build something amazing enough, someone wants to buy it, and they throw a ridiculous number at you to buy it, you know what? That's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that that Ruben and the family can't come and make cigars again sometime.
No.
They probably have a non-compete for a while. Just like the Aroas did when they sold Camacho to Davidoff. They had, I think it was 5 or 6 years they couldn't actually sell any cigars or market, and they didn't. And then Christian came out with CLE, and Justo and Julio came out with JRE.
Yeah.
And they're both killing it again.
And
so
it's not to
like
say
you
that
can't
they
do 'em.
weren't working on things during that time of the non-compete, because they had full brands ready to be launched.
There was a reason why we have 6 to 8 year old vintage selection Rothschilds, because Julio rolled the hell out of those things during the time that they couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's got, I think Trey Mack told me he's like 60 or 80,000 boxes of those still that are just continuing to age. And it's amazing. So there's no reason. I know I gave the authority a little bit of crap because they were talking about young people. I feel like they're more of the old school cigar shop, They have. I know they definitely have an older clientele than we do, and they don't see what we see in our area.
Yeah.
So for them saying, "Oh, everyone's selling out," I don't see that's what it is. I see it's more like, if you have a family that created an amazing brand, and all of a sudden you can set up in the next 5 generations with wealth. You got to think about that. Well, you never know when tobacco dies in our country,
and that's true. That is another thing you got to think about. The craziest thing to me in all of that conversation is that I think that, thinking about it from a business owner perspective, where does your business go? Just keep becoming a massive conglomerate, end up being especially for tobacco, where does it go from there?
Yeah.
You just buy more factories. You do all this stuff. Well, what's the end goal?
Right.
For a company like Alec Bradley, it could be liberating in some way to be bought out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the overhead's no longer their own. They're not pigeonholed anymore by the Alec Bradley fan base.
Or by the factory and farms that may be making more of their own product and can't make it for them.
And my thought especially is for the sons, Alec and Bradley, they could then move on and not have to live under their father's legacy of, oh, here's our market, here's who we're blending for.
Yeah.
You could end up with a completely different product that they're just as passionate about.
Yeah.
Because, well, they don't have to worry about that anymore. CI's got them covered.
Yeah,
the Scandinavian's
absolutely.
got them covered.
Well, and that's a good point too, because we love the Cuevases. Lewis is an amazing guy. Denise is an amazing woman. Not met the son yet, but he came on, and I think his name's Alex, isn't it? I think it's Alex. But he came on and created a new cigar. Well, my hope when I heard about it was going to be a more full-bodied representation because Cuevas, most of their stuff is a little bit milder, getting up into that medium
range.
Yeah,
you know.
And I was hoping that this was going to be like the young gun comes in, he creates this really nice, bold cigar for their line. And it came out, and the first time I smoked it, I was a little disappointed because it was a little milder. Second time I smoked it, I'm like, this is a great cigar. I don't need to worry about it. I need to get it in here, and I will. But it could be the same thing. He's trying to keep it under the profile of what the brand is, as opposed to, hey, I'm young, I'm gonna make something totally different, and this fits the line more than actually expands the line, is what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think in that way it could be liberating.
Could be.
I mean, it'd be the same thing if somebody came in and said, "Hey, we want to buy Final Third." All right, what's your number? And how long's the non-compete? Because Rob's going to need someplace to smoke. I'm sure he'd start another one.
Yeah.
Except he'd be a lot more padded in his wallet next time, and you could build something better.
Well, and that is a good point because, I mean, we're at a point now already 1 year in that we probably need to figure out a way to expand. We're running out of space. And we've got about 50 seats inside and another 30 or so outside. And it's I mean, on a weekend, it could be completely full.
Yeah, we were last weekend.
We definitely were last weekend. Actually, we were way over capacity all weekend, last weekend. But it's one of those things where, if someone came in and offered it and wanted to buy it and gave me a really good, fair offer, I might do that. And then I probably would open up and at that point, I'd have more money behind me. I could actually go out and buy a bigger space and be able to create it a little bit larger from the start. Because who knows? I mean, you never know when you start a business like this if it's going to take off immediately or if it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
And this one really took off immediately. And I feel like going back, if I would have bought a bigger space, would it have felt the same thing? Probably not. So I don't know. But we're, that's definitely down the road. And if not, we'll figure out a way to add on to this place and keep going.
Absolutely. I mean, and franchising is always an option. Opening another one.
Yeah. Or just opening up multiple locations. Yeah, because that's one of the things I think we do well here. I hope we do well, is the culture we're trying to create here.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome. Honestly, we've had a couple times where there's a couple people that made some off-color comments, and we're like, we don't do that here. And you know what? They felt a little embarrassed when we said it, but then they never did it again. And it's just like, we want everyone to feel welcome. I don't care what your life is about, who you are, what you are, where you are. We want you to feel welcome here. And I feel like we've been able to do that. And I've not been to very many cigar lounges that I felt that way.
Yeah.
There are some out there. I'm not saying there's not, but that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
New beer will be coming in soon.
Yes.
We're getting the Dorian Espresso Stout from Scarlet Lane. It is a really clean espresso stout. What I mean when I say clean, it's not like a pastry stout. It doesn't drink heavy. It is all the things you love about a stout, just with coffee added. So, like, if you
and help me remember, because you've drank one recently.
Yeah.
Doesn't it drink more like a porter and coffee? It's not like, because a lot of the stouts will be
like a stout. It does have a texture like a porter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the stouts they end up using, they do an oatmeal stout or whatever, and it's got that more creamy maltiness to it. I don't remember getting that out of the Dorian. Okay.
Nope. Yeah. So it drinks thinner than most stouts, which that sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually not. It's a beer that you don't feel weighed down by the time you've had one.
Which that kind of reminds me, at least of the mouthfeel of it, of the Expand Your View from Pax Verum.
Yeah,
another porter, but it's or that one is a porter, but it's definitely got that more traditional porter feel to it.
Well, and I think Pax did that well too with those bomber bottles they came out with. That just the bourbon barrel aged one did not drink thick and heavy. Like a lot of. So Pax did a limited release of 3 different Lithrinax beers, which is their stout. and they were all Horse Soldier bourbon barrel aged, and they adjuncted different things into them. There's a s'mores one, there was a coffee vanilla, and then there was just the regular, just bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah.
And those were really good, but the ones like the coffee and vanilla and the s'mores one drank thick.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of what's going on there.
Yeah.
You're sweetening it, you're doing all these other things to it. It's going to drink thick. But the stout that was aged in a bourbon barrel, it sounds weird saying it. It was a refreshing stout.
Yeah.
Like, which you don't ever think about that with a stout.
No.
But it was just a really clean dark beer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so that one hopefully will be here. I thought we were going to get it this week, but apparently they couldn't deliver it this week, so I'll reach out and see if we can try to get it next week. Worst case is I'll just drive down there and get it.
I drive by it every day to work.
I'll ask them if they can do that for us, let us pick it up. I don't know. I don't think that's legal, though.
Okay.
I think you have to, it has to be, it's like liquor. You have to distribute it, unless you're self-distributing, which they might be. I don't know. I'll check into that.
Yeah.
Or we just won't say anything and you can just do it.
You just said
God,
it. I'm not cutting it out.
Yeah, you can't do it now. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This whiskey, man, it is so viscous. It falls heavy on the palate, and the fruitiness in it, and the maltiness in it.
Yeah.
God, I'm still getting like that vanilla almond. I just it's so complex, and the further you get down the glass on it, the more it changes. And this, I believe, this is the one that once you drink it, it's completely gone. Just knows the glass, and it's just like thick, rich vanilla caramel.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that almond note. Mm-hmm. When Marv and I were originally talking about it, I said marzipan. So if you've ever had marzipan, that's what it reminds me of. But marzipan is like a candied, crushed up almond. So you'd also be able to get close to that flavor profile, even just with almond extract. Like if you smelled almond extract.
Yeah. It's just a sweeter. Mm-hmm. It's not as much like the extract. It's just sweeter.
Yeah.
How's your cigar smoking?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. There's still a lot of, it's like chocolate toast on the palate, and the retro hail has died down for me.
Yeah, retro's not spicy.
It's kind of funny the way this cigar progresses, because it like starts off on a spicy note, but it's not spicy by any means. It's like you can tell there's pepper, but it's not knocking you over or anything like that. And then towards the middle of the cigar, which I don't even feel like I'm at the middle yet. This cigar burns so slow. Towards the middle of the cigar, it just kind of dips down, and then right at the end, it all comes back, which is great. It's a wonderful, wonderful smoke.
Yes, it is. I'm texting.
Yeah, hang up and hang out, Rob. What are you trying, bub?
I'm trying. I was going to see what's going on in the cigar world right now.
Oh, okay.
See if there's anything new that pops up
Cigar
today.
news with Rob and Isaiah.
That's
We'll
right.
see what's going on.
Nothing new.
Nothing new.
I will say the one that I go to the most, and the one that their magazine is probably the best out there, is Cigar Journal. They're actually what Aficionado probably started out to be before Aficionado decided to be a lifestyle magazine instead of a cigar magazine.
Speaking of lifestyle magazine, we should probably end up getting a watch sponsor. I think I need a watch.
You think Rolex is sponsoring right now?
Dude, I'm not even sure I could afford the box that they come in.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're insane. No, we probably would end up with Swatch. I'm just saying right now. Rubber jelly watches.
I was in a White Elephant gift exchange, and I had a real Rolex watch box that I got, and
You put a fake Rolex in it?
I put a Hello Kitty watch in it.
Nice. Nice.
So somebody's opened this up at a White Elephant gift exchange, and like just absolutely beautiful presentation. I think the Rolex that was in that was the Submariner, and they opened it up, and it was just like a cheap Hello Kitty watch.
Well, most of those White Elephant Exchange have like a minimum or maximum dollar value you're supposed to spend, so no one's spending really high or low.
No. We don't play like that. We play
Okay.
like legit White Elephant.
Okay,
Where like
okay.
you might get dog turds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, nobody's walking away with things they actually want. It's just all gag gifts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, we don't play like that. That's too much work. Yep.
Looks like Room 101 is resurrecting the Revered Daruma blend. I don't remember that one. I don't think I ever had that one.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice to see. And that's another, like we were talking about earlier with Matt Booth. Kind of like Drew, Jonathan Drew. They both kind of hit the lottery by being able to sell their brands for a really good value, and then, oh, by the way, we want to hire you for a really nice big
Who
figure.
owns Drew Estate? Is that Swisher?
Swisher International,
Yeah.
yeah. So again, Jonathan Drew is still running, I believe, Drew Estate, at least for a while.
Yeah.
So now he's pocketing all that big time cash, and still has a big career, probably making a nice big salary too.
Yeah.
Probably 7-figure salary too.
Yeah. Swisher International claims that they're a lifestyle brand.
Okay.
Grape flavored Swishers, man.
I can claim that I'm I'm like, I don't know where to go with that.
You don't want to be a lifestyle brand?
So basically they're identifying as a lifestyle brand. So
Yeah.
nice. Well, you can't argue with that.
No, you can't.
Cannot.
No, you cannot. Absolutely not.
Swisher, the #1 lifestyle brand.
Number one lifestyle brand. I think that's where a lot of cigar companies are moving to, is like, well, general merch. I'm wearing a Crown Heads hat. Like,
Yeah.
they got to be making good money off these hats.
Oh.
'Cause they're like 30 a piece, man.
Yep. And actually, I just got my shipping notification. We got our second shipment of these hats coming in. They're the whiskey barrel wood hats, and they're amazing. And for them being, they're the same price as our Flex Fit hats, so it's like they're not a bad price at all. I think $26, and they're super nice hats. They're like the Richardson style hats. Nice hats.
Yeah. Speaking of lifestyle brand,
Oh,
I
really?
just pulled up Crown
Wait.
Heads website.
Oh, I thought you pulled up Trojan. I thought you were talking about that brand. Sorry, go ahead.
We're just gonna
That's another
skip
lifestyle.
past that. I suppose it could be if you wanted it to be. They have a T-shirt on here, which is actually kind of cool, but it just says Palace Laundry.
Palace Laundry. You're gonna have one of those? Because I'm pretty
Palace
sure most
Laundry.
of your paycheck goes to either cigars or Crowned Heads gear.
Hey, now
Don't tell me I'm wrong.
you're not wrong.
Exactly.
You're not wrong. I haven't bought that much new as far as cigar. Well, that's a lie. When I was in Nashville, I bought Knuckle Sandwich 55s. I bought a
Yeah.
couple at Saniki cigars, which I don't know what's happening with that brand, but it kind of looks like they're phasing out.
Yeah. I will say right now, if you are in any shop and they have Knuckle Sandwich 55s, buy them all.
Buy them all.
Those things are
single one
so
of them.
delicious. I really hope they come out with that
As a
blend and
regular
another
blend,
cigar,
yeah.
or maybe a different size or whatever. But that cigar was, it's right up there with the best cigar of the year so far for me.
Absolutely.
Now I will say the Candela may replace that when we get it in. Which, good news, when this airs, they'll be on the shelf.
when are they
Candelas.
coming?
We'll have them this Monday.
Wow.
So by the time this airs, they will be on the shelf for 4 days.
I might have to stop by. get a Candela.
I got 30 boxes of them coming.
Oh,
so
okay.
hopefully they'll.
No need to stop
Now,
by.
I will say this is kind of cool. So Dan, he's the one that operates the. God, I can never remember the name of his shop. It's in Austin. He's a new Aladino rep.
Okay.
So they had their grand opening, or I don't know if it was grand opening or if it was just their event with I think it was just their event with Aladino. It was, yeah. They had a big event with Aladino starting. They're now being a lounge. It was the start of that, and so Vivian Aroa, that's Justo's wife, she flew with the boxes to give to him for the event.
Wow!
And first day sold 20 boxes of them. I'm
Amazing.
Like, that's awesome. I think we're going to sell a lot of them, and honestly, the price point's going to be great. It's going to be like $9 something a cigar for
Amazing.
something that's super rare. It's
Do you know what size they're coming
it's
in?
Robusto.
All Robusto.
All Robusto.
Yeah.
On this first batch. I think, honestly, it's kind of a test to see
How
if
they
they'll
go.
hit because, I mean, Candelas are notoriously dog turds
Yeah.
or very, very grassy dog turds. This one's not. This one's absolutely delicious. And I think they're just checking to make sure people will buy them because everyone's idea of a Candela is usually just grassy. This one's not.
So I was talking to Trey Mack about that Candela, and him and I were speculating about what leaf the Candela actually is.
Yeah, what's your thought?
Our bet's on Cameroon.
I kind of thought so too. I was initially thinking Habano.
It has too much sweetness to it.
It does. That's what threw me. So I feel like you're right. And honestly, they're probably growing.
But
I would
Julio's not
recommend.
telling anybody.
No.
Which he
I would.
shouldn't.
I would say I could probably say this confidently. Jerry is probably growing more Cameroon than anybody in the world right now. He has got just flats of land full of Cameroon at all times, and I'm like, so. You're not getting much from Cameroon, Africa, because it's literally a very small farm in Cameroon. Everybody else, they're not growing that much.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not the same flavor profile as what you get out of that Honduran soil. So I could definitely see that. And that was kind of where I landed, too, when we were on the farm. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was talking
We'll
to
never know.
Trey Mack about it. I said, you know what the leaf is? He said, no. He said, I have a guess. I said, me too. He said, what's your guess? I said, Cameroon. He said, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, we could all be wrong.
Yeah.
I've been wrong many times.
And that would make sense because I'm not sure what leaf or what seed they're using in Cameroon, Africa for the Cameroon tobacco, or I'm sorry, the Candela for like the other brands, like the filthy, Espinosa, the Filthy Hooligan. I mean, Camacho has a Candela, but it's such a weird texture. I mean, it's almost like felt.
Yeah.
Very odd. I don't know, but I'm with you. I agree with you on that.
There is a lot of hype around that cigar, and it is it's due to it. It's great. I think, all the guys who smoked it have enjoyed the flavor coming off of it. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, so we had for our 1 year anniversary, we took our top 10 customers out for dinner and stuff like that. And I had brought back from Honduras. They allowed me to take 10 back of the Candelas to give to all of them. And they were all very intrigued by it, liked it a lot, and can't wait to get more of them. So, so far, everyone that smoked one has loved it.
Yeah.
So I can't say much more about it. I think it's just going to be an amazing cigar for people to try. And it's not your traditional Candela. So this is one, as long as they keep making it, is going to continue to be able to be smoked all year long. It's definitely more of I think it's more of a medium to full. Which is kind of unique for a Candela. Most Candelas are a little bit lighter or maybe to the medium. This one has a little bit more spice to it, which I like.
Yeah. You know what day this episode's coming out on? St. Patty's Day.
Oh.
We doing anything
we
special?
We should have wore something green today.
I know we should.
Oh, you did. You got green on.
Yeah, I got
Nice.
a camo hat, but
Nice.
you can't see it.
Oh no,
I blend in.
you
too
do
well.
blend in.
Yeah,
your head's almost missing.
it's gone.
It's gone.
Took off half my head.
It's a big head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean we're trying to figure out what if we're gonna do anything special. I mean we're definitely gonna be putting like the Irish whiskeys on special. Honestly, there we go. That's what we'll do. Is we'll do the pairing of the day will be an Irish whiskey and the Candela if you want to do all Irish.
Yeah.
Don't know how well that's gonna go together.
Encourage
could be
people to do some Irish car bombs with you.
No, we're not doing those. We're not doing those. No, we're not doing those. But
Use the to those that inspire us.
Imperial Stout and
Throw some Baileys.
Oh.
drop some powers in there.
yeah.
Yeah. there
Yeah, I
you
mean,
go.
like right now
That'll
on,
get you
on
somewhere.
our Irish, we've got of course you got proper, but we also have the Redbreast 12 and Powers. Powers has been selling great for us.
Powers is great for the money.
Our buddy Keith Gaskell, shout out.
Shout out to Keith.
He's the one that turned me on that. He said that's one of his favorite go-to Irishes right now, and we brought it in here. And so far, everyone that likes Irish is loving it. I mean, we sold
I think it's
2 bottles of it already.
It
in
is.
a week.
It's like a mid-tier sipper. I think it's easier sipping than proper 12. I think proper 12 has its thing. It's a little less refined than the Powers.
It is.
If you're looking for something really refined, it's Redbreast 12. But there's
Yeah.
also a price hike there.
It is, yeah. Well, and a lot of people, at least a lot of people that come in here that order the proper, they're mixing it.
Yeah,
It makes a good mixer for people,
and that's just fine.
which is why it's a cheaper bottle too.
Uh-huh.
So
But
I did buy me a shirt that I don't know if it's going to be here by the
What'd you
time
get?
St. Patty's Day comes in, but it's just it's a button-up Henley that says "Shut up, liver, you're fine." It's got Irish stuff all over. I'm like, you're fine.
you're fine.
Shut up.
You'll be good. Yeah.
So now I got.
You do realize you're just poisoning your body? Alcohol is poison to your system, Rob.
What?
What?
No.
Not me, man.
No, it's good
Couldn't
for
be
you.
me.
I mean, we're talking. I mean, if it's vegan, it can't be wrong. These are vegan.
These are vegan. Cigars and
Can't
whiskey.
be wrong.
Vegan.
Can't be wrong.
No animals were harmed in the process.
I think maybe I should go on a 100% vegan diet, and this is it. You think that would be healthy?
You would wither away pretty quickly.
You would, and probably like look really, really unhealthy too. But
Terrible. Well, I mean, we already look bad, but
there's another reason for that. It's not because we're not eating.
Yeah. Which I gotta say, I apologize for last week's episode because the general consensus on that was, dang it, you guys just made me hungry.
We did talk a lot about food.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, no, I'm kidding.
That being said, we need to commit and do a full blown food pairing, or maybe
We do.
maybe we can make that an event once we get the grill out here or
Yeah.
something. We could do steak side whiskey cigar pairing.
Yeah.
And just all have it together and
we
have it as a ticketed thing. I think it could be cool.
I think it'd be awesome. And we also, he kind of hinted to that. We are getting a smoker and a grill out here. And Mike Bother, shout out.
Shout out to Mike.
He's going to be smoking some meats and having that available for us. And we're trying to figure out logistics of when that happens. But we're going to do some different things. You know, obviously, maybe during the week, sometimes we'll do just some hamburgers and brats on the grill.
Yeah.
Other days, he's going to be smoking brisket or pork, or he doesn't. It doesn't sound like a special, but he does an amazing smoked pulled chicken.
Yeah.
It is so juicy and so flavorful. All of his stuff has been great. He's gonna be bringing out candied bacon. He's gonna be doing that out here.
That's dangerous.
Well, I may not sell that. That may be all in the back for me, but I'm just saying.
Just saying.
But
Just putting it out
but he
there.
is gonna be doing a lot of that too, and some sides. So we'll have that coming up. So we'll have some food options. And honestly, there's a, you know, I'm not gonna say it too much here, but there's some plans of maybe that expanding in a year if this goes over well. So it could be something even expanded more. So we just gotta see.
If
So
you'd like to see some food options, support the ones that we do.
Yes, and it might end up being more of the smoked meats are going to probably end up being on the weekends, Doesn't make sense to do it all week long.
No.
But again, we could do hamburgers and broth, something like that during the week at some point. But we're not going to do it every day. That's definitely the reason why you need to be following us on Instagram, Facebook. Go to the Facebook page, which is just Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
Yeah.
Get on our email list. Basically, getting on our email list is when you come in here and we set you up as a customer, we'll put your email in the system. You're on the list.
You can also hit the email list from our website, can't you?
You can. I actually need to transfer those emails,
Okay.
so I have to transfer because I've had a few sign-ups recently.
Just come in.
Best thing to do is come in and get on the email list immediately. Because my only fear is like if I export all those or export the emails from the website again, it's going to duplicate a bunch of crap in here, and you're going to get 2 emails, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that for you, but definitely if you're in here, we always ask, are you in our system? I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be in the system. I don't want to be tracked. I don't want to be emailed. We're not going to blow your email up. We send out an email once a week, and it's only pertinent information to what's going on. We never blow you up with crap.
New product. It'll be events coming up.
Yeah.
There's a little snippet about this show in there.
Yeah.
But
And the other good thing about that is, like we've had a couple of events that got canceled last second, and Lisa's put an email together to send out to everybody saying, just a heads up, that's the only time you're going to get one that's not just on a normal Monday.
Yeah.
Is if we have to do an emergency alert. So it's really good communication for what we're trying to do here, and but we definitely will have on that all the time when we have food available, and we're going to try to set that up and plan it out really well. Because Mike is he's a videographer for ESPN and some other people, so he does a lot of that. But it's more he's more unavailable during the winter than he is in the summer. So he'll be able to come out here a lot more during the summer, which is great. So we'll have that going for sure. So that's coming March 18th, which will be the day after this airs.
yeah.
We've got Ed Paul Fry coming back out again for some music. He's a blast. He is such a great guy, and he's a hell of a musician.
Yeah, he's got a great catalog behind him, and it's really easy to listen with him, hang out, and just feel like you're part of what he's doing.
Oh yeah, he's engaging the crowd.
Just a great personality.
He has a lot of original stuff he does of his own. He also does covers from other stuff. He's kind of that. I kind of call him that kind of old time, kind of casual rock kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's not the hard rock, but it's more like a Bob Seger kind of feel. And he actually, I'd love to talk to him a little bit more about this, and I'll find out more information. But he's actually been cast into a movie that's being done right now.
Wow.
And it's kind of sad, but it's actually really cool. It's like the whole movie's about a washed-up musician trying to come back, and he is the guy that is going to be that musician. So he's going to be in a movie coming up. And honestly, once that thing comes out, if it's available, I can do it. We'll do a movie night here and show it, and have him come out and maybe play some music afterwards. So
speaking of a movie night, there was talks with the Beer Boy.
Yeah. So Josh Hull, shout out, drink. Josh Hull is one of the brewers over at Scarlet Lane. He's also a screenwriter, and he's a screenwriter. He does a lot of slasher movies, horror movie type, paranormal kind of stuff. That's what his writing is. That's his passion, and he got his first screenwriting, screenprint, whatever.
Screenwriting.
He got his first one published into a movie called, oh my gosh. I can't remember. It'll come to me in a minute. And we're talking about maybe doing a movie night with him. So if you're a slasher movie fan, kind of like on the cusp of like Halloween or some of those.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be, and we'll have that out here one night. So be on the lookout for that. I need to get him in here and figure out when we're going to do that.
So think about cigars, whiskey, slasher movie. I don't know that you could go wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It could be a fun night.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely going to be a specific crowd. I don't know if everyone's going to want it, but honestly, I think when we do it, we'll do it in the summer. So if you don't want to watch a movie, you can sit on the patio.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Plenty of space out there. So.
Yep.
I will say my cigar's a little snug,
Yeah.
and the other ones I've smoked have not been snug. So maybe it's
Okay.
just this one.
Yeah.
It's like the box press on this one's a little bit tighter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not having that issue with mine. The one I smoked last night was great as well. They are slammed together in this box.
They are.
And,
And that's why I pulled this one out and kind of separated it out before we smoked it.
Yeah.
And usually what I try to do on box presses especially is I'll pull out a couple cigars when we put them on the shelf to let them kind of breathe a little bit.
Yep.
And that usually opens them up pretty quick. So
That
I may
and,
just go one's tight.
I love the branding on this box. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
It
this
is.
cigar is fully enveloped in labels.
Yeah.
Like there's a well, if you're on the podcast, think about the Tobacco Special from Drew Estate. Like it is just all the way covered up. It's like the cigar feels a little bit indecent when you pull it all off of it and get ready to smoke. But no,
Yeah, I mean, it's literally
just
only
absolutely beautiful packaging, and all of the bands come off easily.
They do. And I mean, if you can see in the picture here, 1.5 inches of the cigar at the top is what you can see. The rest of it's covered.
Yeah.
Nice to protect the cigar. That's one. I mean, these things, when they shipped to me, the boxes are pristine, and each box is wrapped in paper inside of a box.
Yeah.
So the boxes are protecting the box. I'm like, I mean, they're really taking good care of these.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, when you start looking at everything they did to this, that's probably why the price point's up around $20.
Yeah.
And also, it's well-blended cigar. So, but this was Rocky's 60th birthday celebration cigar, and he did a good job.
He did do
Very
a good job. So right now on the cigar for me, it's still hanging around those chocolatey notes. It's getting a little bit more charred. So it kind of reminds me of almost s'moresy, just because I'm always the type to just absolutely annihilate the marshmallow in the fire. Like turn it black before you put it on there.
I could see that for sure. And it's definitely not milk. It's
No.
more of a dark chocolate. Very bitter chocolate. But all it does is it makes that whiskey that much sweeter.
The Retro Hell for me has finally brought back some of that black pepper quality, which is really nice. What do you get on the whiskey?
Man, it's I'm still kind of intrigued by the strawberry kind of flavor in there, but I still get the vanilla. It's almost, and it's not as much. There's the flavor. The caramel. It's kind of like the viscosity and kind of coating of a caramel.
Yeah.
But then after all the whiskey's off your palate, it's like the bottom of the tongue. I'm getting like a caramel on that. But that's probably just that vanilla almond that I'm tasting.
I still think that that strawberry's there, and right after the cigar, it's almost like somebody made a strawberry syrup and just put a dab of chocolate in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very little, but the cigar's hanging on my palate all the way through the drink.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah. Same here. This actually, we figured this would be a good pairing. I mean, honestly, a well-made San Andreas over Nicaraguan is always going to go good with a high-proof bourbon.
Well,
finished or unfinished.
We didn't even
and this is unfinished.
figure. I was smoking the 60 for the first time and drinking the Peach Street last night, and I was like, and Rob said, "Hey, I think we should do this as the pairing," and I said, "Let me see." And I was in the final third of the 60 at that point.
FinalThirdCigar.com.
FinalThirdCigar.com. Oh, another shout out. FinalThirdCigar.com. But we forgot to mention both are visuals.
Oh, yeah.
When we were talking about Mike. So if you should at least follow his Facebook page. See all the things he's doing with videography.
Yeah.
Man's a wizard with video.
He really is.
But no, I was in the final third of this cigar last night and drinking this whiskey when Rob was like, I think that's our pairing for tomorrow. And, did a sip, did a smoke, and said, yep, yeah, that's going to work well.
Yeah. I'm digging it. It's a good pairing. I mean, I'm not one that's going to bring a lot of Rocky stuff in here. I mean, mainly the biggest reason for me is he sells almost all of his stuff online, and it's hard to compete with online, and I'm not going to try. It's like, that's the path that some companies go, and that's fine. Do what you want to do.
There's
no
way for us to compete with an online retailer. Most of those are in little to no tax states.
Most of them are no tax.
And we can't compete with that being in Indiana, and we also can't compete with the deals they get because they're buying in bulk and
Chris
all
Gordon,
that stuff.
shout out.
Shout out to Chris.
Nice. How you doing, bud? Good?
Yeah. About an hour ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you've been in here, you know Chris. Chris is in here all the time.
I heard he might have a redemption line with Jackie coming up.
Come on, Jackie.
Come on, Jackie.
This guy's the guy for you. I'm telling you now.
I'm telling you.
Now, I will say, after hearing some stories, she might not be the girl for him. But, I don't know. Might be able to mellow each other out a little bit.
You know how cool it would be to have your friend be married to Jackie Zykan?
That would be freaking cool.
Yeah. If nothing else, he needs to do it.
I'm just trying to figure out, will Chris take the Zykan name, or will she take the Gordon name?
She's definitely not taking Gordon. She'd hyphenate that.
It'll be Zykan Gordon. Yes.
Yeah.
Chris is giving us. He's like, don't put that shit out there.
Hey, did we sell all out of our first barrel pick now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you didn't get a chance to try our first barrel pick, is gone. It may. I've got a couple of bottles at home that I'm just kind of keeping for my own use. I might bring one out for a bottle share sometime and let people try it again. Yeah. But right now it's gone. But we still have 3 amazing barrel picks with Backbone, Starlight, and now with the Peachtree.
Yeah. And you'll always find our barrel picks, at least for the time being, on the second shelf, the middle shelf, right in the dead center.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
These Peachtree bottles came out looking amazing.
Did you see the inside of the bottle with the labels?
Oh,
on that? They've got
pictures
labels on the back side.
That's cool.
Yeah,
and it's like a hound dog with the top hat on it, which is actually great branding.
It really is.
I did not. I mean, you never really know how good branding is going to be on a craft distiller. Yeah. And I'd never seen their product anywhere. We had just tried it, and they were in unmarked bottles.
Yeah, actually, us and Town Liquors are the only 2 in Indiana right now that has Peachtree on the shelf.
Wow.
Town Liquors picked another one of the barrels that I didn't pick, and they've been selling really well, too. But the branding on it, the bottles look beautiful. They use a different animal, kind of a dressed up animal for every different liquor that they have.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool branding, and I'm trying to get us some. We may have some T-shirts coming with the hound dog on them for all of us.
Yeah. So this bottle says barrel strength. So what I'm imagining that 117 is their barrel entry proof.
I think so too.
Yeah. So.
And honestly, they might have even proofed it down to the 117 because they were all exactly 117. And then they had some that were proofed down to 92, which is what a lot of distilleries will do based on their region. And I'm assuming Colorado and maybe the West Coast is a little bit more leaning towards the lower proof stuff because I've seen a lot of stuff out of there going to that 90 to 94 proof range.
Yeah.
So that may be why they do that. But their cask strength stuff's delicious, and that's the thing too. If you're not a huge high proof bourbon guy, this is gonna hold up to some water or an ice cube.
Yeah. We have people that say, "Hey, give me that." Mostly, Nate, add a splash of water to it.
Yeah,
we can do that for you.
And I actually tried it the other day. I actually put a little bit of water in just to see what it did, and it just made the fruit notes just pop.
Yeah.
So it does benefit to try it different ways.
Okay, right now on this Rocky 60, I'm finally getting some spice on the palate. I am nearing the end of the second third. Actually, I'm probably ending the second third. It's a giant cigar.
Dang.
It feels like a long Toro.
I'm really burning mine slow.
Yeah.
I had to slow down because I think I was over puffing when I was getting that tight draw. It's drawing nice now. Yeah. I'm still in the middle where I'm getting more of those umami notes and the A little bit musty, but the spice level is not real strong right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finally getting pepper on the palate, which is welcome. It's just another change in it. It went from mostly like chocolate toast to slightly charred chocolate and graham cracker thing, and now there's still that chocolate quality. It's leans more savory, like that umami note, and has some spice on the palate. So
good.
It's a long cigar, and it takes you a while to smoke, but it's complex.
It is.
And there's not anything else I could ask for out of it.
No, not at all. Something else I don't think I've told you yet about. So Les, shout out, our Calibri rep. He's an awesome guy. He was in here yesterday. We were talking, or day before yesterday.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting ready to do a reorder because we sold a lot of Calibri in the last few weeks. And he actually said they don't do this very often, but he said we're already at the sales numbers that they feel comfortable doing this. They want to come out and do an event.
Wow.
And I'm not seeing any Calibri events.
I didn't even know
ever.
they happened.
I didn't either. So we're going to try to do a Calibri event, and maybe do a pairing night and discounts on Calibri, and he can talk about the brands and the products and show people all the different lighters and cutters that they offer. They've got some cool stuff. They got a new bubble pack coming out that I'm going to go ahead and get some in here. And it's a lighter. You know those ones you use for the, like lighting candles that have the little nozzle and like a little soft flame on them.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a jet. And he said they're marketing this for people like for barbecues and lighting candles and stuff like that too. But you could use it as a cigar lighter if you want to as well. And it comes with that lighter and a small can of butane. And I'm like, and I think the price point was $20 or less.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere in that range. I might be wrong. I'll have to check that.
Here's the deal. If you've ever lit a fire with a torch lighter, which I do typically because most of the lighters around the house are torch lighters, it's so much better. Mm-hmm. It is so much better. Like, you just touch it to the edge of your newspaper and it's going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exciting to have that. That'll be a new product we have coming in that they just released. I mean, we've sold out of all but one of the Ascaris, which is their newest one. It's not even on their website yet. And I'll be bringing a bunch more of those in. I know people are wanting to buy those. That's what
Triple
you've been
Jet running.
It is, yeah, which it's over there. But I decided to use this one. So, and this is one of theirs
That's
too.
the Quasar desk.
Yeah, this is their desk, and it's awesome. Massive tank on it. Yeah. But obviously it's 1 year. If you have a place to smoke at home, it's the perfect one to throw out there.
I still haven't filled mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It takes about, on the small cans, it takes about half a can in there.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. I still haven't filled it. My only thing is when I take it outside, it's a little bit harder to keep warm in the winter.
Yeah, because it's a lot of butane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even at that, some of my friends are messing with me. I got a shed at the house that I'll smoke in. It's literally a shed that has lights in it and heaters, and I've got a couch and a couple extra chairs in there. Like,
is it insulated?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it'll
hold the heat for you.
It holds heat, but I don't have a heating unit out there, like a wall unit. I just got heaters.
Yeah, that's all you need.
My friends were like, "You're really gonna set that in front of the heater?" I said, "It's not going anywhere. It'll be fine."
Yeah. You just have to keep. It's like any lighter. Like, you walk in here to the lounge first thing in the morning after overnight it was in the upper 60s in here.
It's just butane.
It's
the
just
nature
butane.
of butane.
The lighters. These lighters we use on the tables all have a really large tank on them. It's gonna get cold, so you have people clicking on them. Like, just put it in your hand, hold it for a second, it'll warm up, and it'll light right up. And it does. That's just the nature of butane.
Yeah. Still better than the Zippo. After we did that experiment, I have never been able to look at somebody lighting a cigar with a Zippo the same.
It was,
you know what?
It was definitely way stronger than I expected.
There was a couple guys in here talking about Gurkha that were lighting their cigars with their Zippo.
Were they?
And I thought, that adds up. That'd be the only way to make the Gurkha not taste so bad.
Oh, you're so mean. Yeah, they're actually, that group are really cool guys. They They've supported us from day one.
Oh, yeah.
Now
they're great.
they're an hour away, so they don't get in here a lot.
Yeah.
But whenever they come, it's usually 3 or 4 of them come, and they hang out all day. They smoke all the cigars and have all the drinks and just have a great time.
Yeah.
Really good guys. They like Gurkha. And I've got my issues with Gurkha, and mainly it's because of the owner. I don't like him. And if you know anything about them, you know why. But it's one of those cigars that people can buy online. You usually get them pretty cheap because they're on CI all day long.
Yep.
So, but it is what it is.
And there's a lot of cigars like that that are actually decent cigars that we won't ever be able to bring in a sustainable manner just because of their online presence. Like I think of the Oliva Serie V Milanio.
Yeah.
Why would we bring that in when I think the Churchill was nearly $20 here.
Yeah, and you're buying them online.
They're like $8 a piece.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, look.
And honestly, it didn't sell great here. I mean, it's a fine cigar. It's like Villiger. Villiger used to be one of those brands that was like the sub-budget cigars from your online supplier.
Yeah.
When you were getting buying the humidor and 40 cigar pack for 100 or for $50, you were probably getting 2 or 3 Villigers in that pack. They've come out with some recently that apparently are better, but I'm still kind of like not sure people are going to think of it seriously because it still is a brand like that. But I'd be willing to try it because I've heard some good things about them. What's wrong?
So Cigars International is kind of sly. I typed in Oliva Serie V Milanio on their website, and the first things that are coming up, the first 6 listings, are their house brands.
So they're trying to, that's where they make their most money probably.
Yeah. So a 5-pack of the Oliva Serie V, let me see if they have the Churchill on here. Yeah, Churchill box of 10 is $141. So that's $14
a piece, which is more like it because I think we had them for, I think it was like 16, 17 maybe.
Yeah.
But you also have to realize we pay 24% tax in Indiana on
Sadly.
cigars, which is insane.
It is.
And unfortunately, we're getting so close to when they're going to take their breaks from the sessions to where we're probably not going to hit the tax break we were hoping to get this year. But there's still hope.
There is still hope.
We're still fighting hard to get it done. So,
which would be really good for us.
It'd be honestly,
and it would be really good for you.
Yeah, it really would. I mean, every cigar. Now, I will say, not every shop will bring their prices down, which to me is not right.
But here at Final Third, we're going to give you market price. You ever gone to a restaurant and it just says market price on the menu? Ours will be listed, but it'll be market price.
Yeah, and yes, we have to pass that tax on to the customer because that's part of the profit that we don't make. So we definitely, that is added on there, but that's all we're adding is the tax and fees, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it should be.
Oh, it should.
It's harder to make a lot of money that way or on each cigar. But honestly, when people realize
I don't think it hurts us.
No, it helps. I think because what happens is if you go to another shop and then you come in here and you see the same cigar, which is not really easy in our humidor, you realize, oh man, someone's charging a lot more for that. And some of it could be location where they are. Their rent's way higher than what mine is or whatever. But
we don't need to.
We don't need to.
So
I never want to.
Rob, we've officially passed the 1-year mark of Final Third. And I know there are guys and gals who listen to this that are future shop owners or they're thinking about it. Can you think of any things that you've learned in your first year that you wish you could have told Rob before he opened up the shop?
Not really, because I was already kind of involved with the shop before. I feel like the number one thing I always tell people is culture is going to drive everything. If your culture, like, if you go into like
No. Real quick, break this down in a tangible way for people.
Yeah.
What have you strategically done for the culture of this shop?
Well, we are 100% fully inclusive, and we want everyone to feel welcome. That's the main thing. Is when you come in here, no matter where you are in life, what's going on, you should feel welcome here. If you don't, tell me, because we want to make sure we're better at that. We won't put up with people. If you go into some shops, you'll know politically what leanings they are, or religiously what leanings they are, or whatever. You know what? We can have conversations. That's great. But everyone's welcome in the conversation. That's part of it. One thing I always tell people is we like to, especially if it's a new person, just like Chris coming in a minute ago. Chris knows our humidor. He knows what he wants to smoke, and he's going to go in there and he's going to get it. So we don't have to walk in with him every time, because
he's
honestly,
only going to smoke the statements of the Tabernacle anyway.
He's been smoking the Crow and a couple other ones lately, even the Crook. But he, we know that. Honestly, if we were to go in with him, what we're going to be doing is talking and probably slowing him down from actually getting into a cigar. Now, if you're a newer customer or someone you're not sure what's going on, we're going to be in there with you, helping you find that. That's one thing I don't see a lot of shops or lounges do, is they don't go in with the customers and they just let the customers pick what they want. So, the misnomer in cigars are the lighter cigars, the milder they are. If I've got a young guy that comes in here and he's like, I've only ever smoked a Blondie before, but I want to get away from that. I want to get a regular cigar. And he walks in there and gets a 601 Black from Espinosa. It's a Connecticut. It's a full-bodied cigar.
Yeah.
He is going to hate cigars. He's probably never going to want to smoke cigars again.
Yep.
And it's like, we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to help you discover what's good. That's one of them. Also, another one, and I've heard this from a couple of shops that are trying to open up, and it just makes me cringe when I hear it, is, they want to open a shop, but they don't plan on working in it. And I feel like if you have a passion for this and you want it to actually succeed,
even if you could devote a
it.
year to it.
At least a year. I mean, honestly, even after a year, I think, just like right now, we would love for Lisa and I to be able to not be in here every day, just because it wears on you.
Yeah.
And we'll work that where we can have a couple days off here and there. But I think you still have to have the owners that are passionate about their business in there, engaging customers and getting to know them, because that means a lot to the customers. It means a lot to me being able to make a lot of great friends and help them discover a passion that I have. I think a lot of that is that, and honestly, learning about what you're selling.
Yeah.
Know what's in your humidor. Know what they taste like. Even if you can just say, small things like, this dark cigar has some spice to it, or this dark cigar is more medium and more smooth, whatever, chocolatey nose, something like that. If you can just give some pointers on each cigar, and the only way to do that is just to smoke cigars in your humidor.
Yeah.
Same way with liquor. You got to try everything, even if you're not a liquor person. At least have somebody on your staff that knows how to taste and do that, so that they can talk intelligently when someone comes out and has a cigar, which happens all the time here now.
Yeah.
They come out and say, what would be good to pair this with? We should be able to give you, 4 or 5 options easy.
Yeah, as a
pair.
response to this show, we have become a shop where you can come in and say, hey, I'm in a whiskey mood. I'm smoking this cigar today. What do I need to drink?
Yeah, or vice versa. Yeah. If you're coming in, you're like, oh man, I want to try that new barrel pick from Peachtree. What would be a good cigar to go with it? We should have 4 or 5 good cigars at different levels of strength that you can try along with that. And I think that's something that for a successful shop to happen. Those are some of the things I think you need to have.
Yeah, totally. A couple other cultural things that you've done, I don't know about strategically, but you've definitely done them. Like, there are more women on staff here than there are men.
There are, yeah. Yeah, and it honestly was strategic.
And no, they're not your Hooters girls.
No. Back to the same thing of everyone feeling welcome. A lot of women will go into a cigar shop, and the first thing the guy goes in and says, oh, honey, are you here buying cigars for your husband? And, like Tara, for example, shout out.
Shout out to Tara.
She comes in here and she smokes some sweet cigars. She'll also smoke the other cigars too, whatever she likes. What she's in the mood for that day. She's also our Macallan girl, so she's drinking scotch. She says she goes into places all the time. They're either asking if she wants to buy for her husband or if she wants one of these blondies or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't ever assume the person coming in, you know what they want, because you don't. Treat them like it.
I've seen ladies come in here and just grab like a warhead, and you're like,
mm-hmm.
And like that'll immediately destroy any conception you have.
I will say right now, we have a lot of women that come in here. I could probably count off about 50 different women that consistently come in. Maybe not every week, but they'll come in once a month or whatever. Some of them do come in with their husbands or boyfriends. Some of them come by themselves. But I would say there are way more, percentage-wise, way more men that smoke sweet cigars than the women.
I think so.
Which is kind of crazy because everyone thinks it's the other way around. Yeah. Again, no shame on that, because if that's what you like, that's what you like. We don't, that doesn't matter to us. I can't smoke sweet cigars. It's just because of me. But yeah, don't ever assume that you know what someone wants. Just ask questions, and it's pretty quick. So actually having, Tam and Lisa, Tam's working a lot more hours. Lisa's in here with me all the time.
And here's the deal: not just women that are educated on stuff.
And both of them are learning every day. They're wanting to know. Like I printed off. I created a document just talking about the different tobaccos and what kind of flavor notes you get out of them and what's the difference in the tobaccos. And I've given that to them to read, to understand, so that they can go in there and talk intelligently. And I'll tell you, there's times I'm sitting here talking to someone, and either one of them will walk in there and they'll have somebody find a cigar and they love it. I'm like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
And then right now we also have Chloe, which is my daughter. She's not old enough to actually handle cigars or liquor, but she's learning about it now. We're teaching her about it, because once she turns 21, hopefully she'll be able to do some of this too. And I like having women in here. First of all, women are way more detailed than guys are.
It's true.
When Isaiah and I clean up the place, we clean the place up decently. When Tam cleans it up, it's spotless. And
so what Rob's saying is women are great at cleaning.
I'm just saying they're more detailed. That's why Lisa's doing all the books, and she takes care of the email campaign and all that stuff, because she's a details person.
Well, and
I am not.
We fully realize where we lack.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're really good at drinking and smoking.
I'm great at it.
I'm actually a professional right now, I think, at it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
I need to get my certification.
Yeah. So, women on staff. The other thing that I noticed here that a lot of other shops don't do, I've been in a lot of lounges, and they'll just have the news running.
Yeah.
All day long. And that is an immediate way to say, oh, here's what these guys think politically.
Yeah, because like, it's either CNN or MSNBC. So
Fox.
Or Fox. That's why I'm Fox. So okay, you walk in there, you look at the TV, you're like, oh, Republican, or oh, Democrat. You're like, exactly what you're going to expect when you walk in.
Yeah. And we won't do that here. If there's not a game somebody wants to watch on the TV, it's music. It is just playing our Spotify channel.
Yeah. I mean, usually it's the weekends. When like right now, March Madness is going on.
Yeah.
We're going to have all the March Madness games on, because that's what people in Indiana especially are looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Is we're going to watch basketball all day. I guarantee next Thursday and Friday, when this airs, it'll be yesterday and today.
Yeah.
We're going to have a packed house of people just coming in to watch games, because people literally take off work to watch basketball during this time of year. And so we're going to have it on. I mean, if you're ever in here very late in the evening, a lot of times at 9 o'clock, I'm kicking hockey on because I'm a hockey fan. We're closed at 9, but, people finish out their cigar or whatever, and I'm watching hockey.
Yeah.
But, like you said, we're going to have music going on. We'll kind of bounce it around a lot. I mean, obviously, I'm a 54-year-old man. My wife's 54 as well. We like just the nice classic rock stuff. So we'll have that a lot of times. We'll put in some jazz in there occasionally, or some summer vibe kind of stuff going.
Yeah.
But it's usually it's always low enough to where if you're in here and you're going to come here during the day and work, you're not going to be blasting music while you're doing it. And honestly, if you come in here and you're working and you're like, oh, I need to make a phone call, just let us know. We'll turn the TV down. I mean, it's no big deal.
Step outside.
Or step outside. Yeah, well, especially once you get to summer.
Yeah. Or in the humidor. The humidor is generally pretty quiet.
It's actually very quiet. You just can't smoke in there.
No.
No.
Sadly.
No, not sadly.
Not sadly. We don't want your smoke on our fresh cigars.
I've had a couple of lounge owners and general managers come in here from other lounges that said, because they'll light their cigars up in their humidors, and they come in and walk into our humidor like, man, I really wish we would have done this because, it doesn't smell real bad, but it doesn't have that nice fresh Spanish cedar feel to it.
And there's nothing like it.
No, it's just a clean room you walk into and just. I have people come in there all the time. They'll walk in and go, "Oh, it smells so good." I'm like, "This is already a year old and it still smells amazing."
Yeah,
it just smells better.
I think it's going to continue to smell.
Oh,
good,
it will,
especially since it's properly humidified.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, culture things easy. Hire women and educate them if they don't already know the stuff.
And be passionate.
Worst thing is when I walk into a cigar lounge and they have women there who are there for their looks, and it's this person is not passionate about the product. They're just trying to get a good tip by dressing scantily, and that brings a different crowd in than what we get here.
It does. And, just like if we were to hire a young, really good looking woman that dressed like that as a bartender, we would draw in more customers. But they'd be here to drink and flirt with a bartender. I'm like, that's not us.
Yeah.
We want to make you a good drink and have you sit down and relax and hang out with your friends.
In the church world, what people say generally is what you show is what you're going to grow. Mm-hmm. And I think it's true across the board in all businesses. If you are creating a staff that looks like what you want, it's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And people, when they see people like them, are immediately more comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it's how it is.
Well, and that's one thing that's nice having you here too. You're 24 years old, and we get a lot of young people here. I mean, our clientele is way younger than most.
Yeah.
And I think when people come in here, especially when you're on Fridays and Saturdays right now, come in on a night like that, and you're here, it's like they feel so comfortable you walking in the humidor with them because you're their age.
Yeah.
And if I go in there, they're going to feel comfortable, but they're going to be more asking questions of someone that be, knowledgeable, not a peer. Totally. And I think that is actually pretty beneficial to have some young people involved in it as well.
Because most cigar lounges around here are old white people.
Yeah.
That's who's working it. That's who goes
everywhere.
There. Yeah. But I can only really speak to our immediate area. But at that, Rob smokes the cigars. And he smokes 5 to 7 a day.
Yeah.
And so you can always ask him. He's smoked everything except for the Deadwood line in there.
I mean, everything but the sweet stuff. And it's not because they're bad cigars. It's just because I can't smoke sweet stuff. It just does not do well with my palate. It's not natural for me. Yeah. I mean, I started smoking cigars 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And back then, the only sweet cigar that was out was the Baccarat. Well, I mean, backwoods crap like that, but like the Baccarat. And it was just a lightly sweetened tip. And I smoked a couple of those and didn't like them, and then just buy Romeos or Macanudos or whatever they had on the shelf, usually at a golf course. So I just never got into that. I see that being an easy way to get people into it, especially in this world now, because a lot of, especially younger people, have tried vape, and all the vape stuff is just sweet. So why wouldn't you try a sweet cigar first? I mean, it makes total sense.
It absolutely does. I mean, you want berries in your vape and all that stuff, so you might as well try some. Like a good entry point for that person would be the Deadwood stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So,
how's that cigar treating you right now?
I think it's wonderful. I am in the final third. You're still finishing up
I'm
the
still in
second
the second.
third.
Yeah.
Final third is ramping up for me in strength. It started a solid medium, and now it's gone towards a medium to full bodied.
Yeah.
It still has some of those chocolate undertones, but it is introducing more of those stronger earthy notes. There's a leathery quality in there.
I'm getting leather already on mine.
And there's also spice on the palate that's turning into more of a red pepper. Which also carries over on the retrohale, which is really, really nice.
Yeah. And the whiskey really is popping right now on the. There's a little bit of a spice on the whiskey now. Not like a red or black pepper, but just like a little bit of a spice on the tongue.
Yeah.
I would say baking spices, but it's a little spicier than that.
Yeah. On that retrohale I just did, it's like white bread toast with red pepper.
Oh, there you go.
It just hits you with red pepper, like after it's all blown out, and it just kind of lingers there.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. It's not overwhelming. Like, I'm not talking about a cigar that's going to knock you over. You kind of feel like with the length and the way this cigar's been blended, like you've trained to this point, so
Right.
it'll be fine.
Yeah. And like we had, might as well keep drinking. Adam Fox
Adam
was in here
Fox.
last night smoking
Heck yeah.
one. And he was talking about how this cigar started off for him was a little bland in the first third, and then the second third built, and then the final third he loved.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like that. I mean, it's three different cigars. You know, the first third you're going to get more of a solid medium, maybe even a touch under medium.
Yeah.
And then it kicks into a medium plus, and then it gets into that full medium plus.
Yeah.
And honestly, almost to the end, it almost gets to a full.
I think
by the time
I
you
think
get to the
so.
very right down to where you are, you're probably getting close to a full there.
Yeah, I've got about a little over an inch of cigar left.
Yeah. But this whiskey holds up nice to it. We're going to have this for a while. I mean, I ended up getting 161 bottles, I think it was. And it's delicious. We've already sold, I think, 4 bottles in the first week, less than a week.
Yeah.
So it's gonna keep selling well, I think. Luckily, we also have people still buying all the other stuff too.
We have some people calling it their favorite barrel pick of ours.
Yeah.
So even if you haven't liked our other barrel picks or they haven't been your palate, come in and try this.
Well, and right now
It's distinctly different than anything else we've got on the shelf in general.
in general, yeah. And that's a tribute to Peach Street. They're doing something special out there. The 3 barrel picks we have right now is the Starlight rye finished in port barrels, the Backbone, which is a bourbon finished in sherry, port, and Amaro barrels. This is the only one we have right now that is just it's a straight bourbon, no finishing, aged right at about 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's got beautiful color on it.
Yeah.
And the flavors are very insane. I don't know if it's just the grains they're using from out west, if it's the process in where they are, because they're not in like the Rockies. They're not in the high elevation, but they're in a higher elevation. They're in Palisade, Colorado, so it's far on the edge of Colorado as you can possibly get.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't know what the elevation is there yet, but obviously out west you get a totally different kind of climate change than you do in Kentucky. So you're getting some difference in there. But whatever they're doing, they're amazing. And he is talking about the distiller. He is so excited having it come out here and that people are loving his product. And that's what I like about some of these smaller distilleries they're kind of like what we're trying to do here is like he is so passionate about what he does and he loves seeing people enjoy his product. He's not just making it because I can make whiskey and make money. He is crafting something special.
And it is special.
It's very special. And we're definitely going to have him come out at some point. I'd love to have him come out on a Saturday. We can pull him on the show, or if he comes another day, we'll just do a show that day.
Yeah.
And have him talk about their distillery. We got to figure out how to maybe do some call-ins. I don't know how easy that is, or if it's going to even work well. Most call-ins are just so bad because you're relying on 2 Wi-Fi services and cell phone services and all that. And it can be crappy, and most of them don't sound good. But it'd be nice to be able to figure out a way to bring some of these guys on that may not be able to travel out.
Yeah, that would be a great thing. It would take an upgrade in our how we're recording the audio, but
which that could be down the road. I'm not in a hurry to do that because it's nice having people on with us. So if you are watching on YouTube, you can at least see what people look like. I mean, just like when we do the pick with French Lick, actually Alan Bishop's going to be hopefully coming up here for the release of that, and then we're going to do a recording with him, and I can't wait because that dude's knowledge is insane.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a fun one. So we're going to be doing, trying to bring some more people on. Definitely, there's a company that does apparel that we want to bring him on, talk about his brand, and we're going to start wearing it as well in here. And it's more dress casual, I guess, button up shirts. And we'll have him come on and talk about his brand and what they're doing, why they're doing it.
Yeah,
because they're doing a lot for causes, and that's what we like. We love to support local business, but we also like these businesses that are actually doing something for a reason.
Yeah.
And they're one of them. I mean, just like Claro and Case Elegance, they're 10 minutes down the road, and they're making amazing products. We're going to support them. So that's just kind of the things we like to do. And we want to bring more people that are doing different things in the industry in here to actually talk to you guys and do events with them too. I would like to have, and I'm going to talk to Mike from Claro and see if he'd be willing to come in and maybe do an event, and we can talk about the humidors, and maybe I can give some discounts on humidors or something. I'm not sure how they do that. They may not allow that, because honestly, you could go on Amazon and buy this humidor for the same price you're going to buy it here. Now you may have to pay shipping. Here you won't have to, but they don't change their pricing up based on retail versus online, which is nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to wrap it up, Rob. So you
cool.
can find me on Instagram at the Whiskey Pastor. Again, thanks you guys for 1 year.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely amazing to see this place kind of grow into its own.
Yeah.
And the amount of support we've got in the shop and on this, mind blowing.
It is. I mean, sounds weird, but I was almost in tears a couple of times last week, and just humbled beyond belief at the amount of people that came out last week for our 1 year anniversary week that we had. I mean, people that maybe we only saw a couple of times because they travel a lot for work or they don't live around here. Had people coming from other states to come be here for us. And it was just really cool to see everyone come together on our anniversary week. And I mean, yeah, we had a lot of great giveaways, but a lot of them were just coming out to support us because they really appreciate it. And so, yeah, thank you guys for that. That's very humbling, and we really are excited to be here for you guys and for us, because it's still fun to smoke and drink.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. And you can follow me on Instagram at Final Third Cigar. Podcast is on all the podcast platforms or the YouTube channel, so you can watch or listen. Most of our podcasts are coming in at about an hour and a half ish.
Yeah.
I know that's long, but it's nice for a commute. So we'll be playing around with a lot of stuff hopefully this year.
Yeah, totally.
So, all right, thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you next week. Come in this week for the pairing. This pairing is going to be coming in close to $30, maybe a little bit less than $30, a little higher dollar pairing, but it's delicious. So come in and check it out this week. Cheers.
Cheers.